If you're a parent, you've been asking yourself, why does it feel like every kid is struggling these days? You're not wrong. From the constant meltdowns and the gut issues to chronic illness, anxiety, sensory overload, ADHD, and diagnoses that seem to come out of nowhere. We're seeing an explosion in kids who are not okay. And while the CDC quietly admits that over 40% of our kids are dealing with a chronic illness, we know that number is probably closer to 50% and rising fast. But the real problem through all of this is that no one is explaining why. Doctors say that it's genetics. There's specialists that just say it's bad luck. And then the system says that they need meds forever. But if you've been stuck in that cycle and your gut is still screaming something deeper is going on, you're right. Because there is. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the real root cause that's hiding in plain sight. The one that almost no one is talking about. And how you can finally help your child heal. So this epidemic doesn't start when symptoms show up. It starts long before. And what we're seeing in so many kids today is the result of a perfect storm. A combination of intense, layered stressors hitting their nervous system in the most vulnerable windows of development. Now there's three major elements to this storm. The first is prenatal stress, so struggles with fertility, high-risk pregnancy, bed rest, emotional trauma. These aren't just emotional, they're biologically programming your baby's stress response system. The second is birth intervention and trauma, so C-sections and inductions and epidurals, forceps and vacuum extractions, and even cord wrapped around the neck. These create massive neurological input during a critical developmental window. And we have early chemical and environmental stressors. So antibiotics and medications and shots and screen time and food and toxins and blue light and 5G and all of these things that are all around us all of the time, all before the nervous system has the capacity to detox or regulate on its own. Now this storm doesn't just pass. It sets the nervous system into a chronic survival state, stuck in fight or flight, unable to regulate, unable to grow, and unable to heal. And unfortunately, the stress just keeps coming. Now we get to add in the digital overload. Our smartphones, our TikTok, tablets, our Chromebooks, our kids are now being exposed to more information, more stimulation, and more comparison than ever before. All while their nervous systems are still under construction. It's like handing a 5-year-old the steering wheel to a Formula One car. They're not ready. Their brains are not wired for this constant cortisol cocktail. And here's what almost no pediatrician is even explaining to any parent anywhere. When your child's nervous system gets stuck in sympathetic overdrive, it's like the gas pedal is slammed down 24/7. And that changes everything. You start seeing things like colic and reflux and constipation in infancy, or tantrums, meltdowns, and sleep issues in toddlerhood and early childhood, or hyperactivity and focus struggles, impulse control, and sensory challenges within our school-age kids. And anxiety, depression, and immune crashes within our teenagers. And while most parents are told to wait and see, the truth is that these are red flags. They're signals that the brain and the body are not regulating properly. Now, this called nervous system dysregulation, and it's the number one most overlooked root cause of chronic illnesses in our kiddos today. You've probably been told that it's a behavioral problem, or it's a gut issue, or a food sensitivity, or they'll grow out of it. It's an immune issue. And yes, those things are real, but they're not the start of the story. They're downstream. The nervous system is upstream. So think about the brain and the spinal cord like a Wi-Fi router. If the signal coming out is scrambled, it doesn't matter how expensive the apps are, nothing's going to function right. There's no connection. It's the same with your child's digestion or their immune system or their emotions. If our nervous system is stuck in fight or flight, those systems go offline. And this is exactly what we've seen time and time again. The colicky baby becomes an anxious 7-year-old. The kid with constipation becomes a teen with autoimmune flare-ups. The toddler with meltdowns becomes a young adult with panic attacks and chronic fatigue. These are all different symptoms, but it's the same system, and it's the same neurological storm. And when stress is layered in early and often and left unaddressed, it creates a state within our nervous system that we call subluxation. And it's a disruption in the communication between the brain and the body. And this is what causes the nervous system to stay stuck. It throws off the entire internal operating system. And you see it show up as things like gut issues with poor motility and bad absorption or weak detox pathways, or immune dysregulation with allergies and asthma and chronic infections, that cycle of sickness that just can't kick. Or the sensory motor chaos with speech delays and coordination problems and sensory overload. The nervous system starts robbing energy from those critical systems just to survive instead of develop. And that's why symptoms multiply over time, and why most treatments only manage the fallout. They don't attack it at the source. And this is the part that blows parents' minds. Nervous dysfunction doesn't show up on lab work. It doesn't show up on an x-ray, and it doesn't show up on blood panels or mineral analysis or the hair tests or GI maps or anything like that. That's why so many parents are told that everything looks normal. Let's wait and see, or they're going to grow out of it. But you know that they won't, because it keeps stacking and nothing ever really resolves. And that's why we use something in our office called the insight scans. It's a non-invasive, pain-free way to actually see what's happening within their nervous system. Is it stuck in fight or flight? Is our vagus nerve not firing? Where is the stress building up and setting up shop? This is how we go beyond symptom chasing. This is how we find the real root cause. Now, the medical model focuses on treating broken pieces separately. Now, we focus on restoring the whole system at the same time. And with neurologically focused chiropractic care, we don't force change. We facilitate it. Now, through specific, gentle, precise chiropractic adjustments, what we do is that we unlock the nervous system and allow the body to re-regulate naturally. We don't suppress symptoms. We reboot the operating system. Parents, just imagine your child falling asleep easily, without a meltdown, going to school with confidence, getting good grades and good notes home, digesting food without pain, feeling calm and connected and in control of their body. This isn't a fairy tale. This is what happens when we reset the fuse box, when we get the nervous system back online. And it starts with one simple step: measuring exactly what's going on under the hood. Parents, if you've tried everything, the diets and the detoxes and the supplements and biomedical and all of the things under the sun, but you still feel like something's missing, this is it. DM our office the word CALM, or be able to click the link in our bio to be able to schedule your child's insight scans, or even just comment the word READY and we'll take it from there. This is where clarity starts. This is where the breakthrough happens. And this is where your child's healing story begins.